A family dog that made headlines for being held under suspicion it was part pit bull has mauled a boy just days after it was released.
And tonight we're hearing from both sides about what they allege took place. CTV's Beth McDonnell reports.
It was really painful. It stings a lot.
Mauled by a dog, more than 20 stitches on his face. 13-year-old Mohammed Almataz Al-Ghul has a lot of healing to do.
I don't want scars to be on my face after they take out the stitches, and I'm having a lot of nightmares.
The dog bit Al-Ghul at his Toronto Taekwondo studio Friday night. Earlier that evening, Al-Ghul says the instructor asked him if he was scared of dogs.
I just said, yeah. And then he said, are you racist? Because, he thought, I was scared of dog particularly.
The lawyer for the dog's owner has video of the 30 minutes leading up to the bite. He's not releasing it, but I watched it. It doesn't have audio. It shows Al-Ghul interacting with the dog in a room about half a dozen times. Al-Ghul says he went to the dog to get used to it because everyone in Canada owns dogs.
And then he told me, you have to overcome your fears, and if you don't, you're not going to be a Taekwondo national champion. I felt pressure to do it because I want to prove to him that I'll be a Taekwondo national champion. So I looked at the dog, and then the dog jumped and bit my face.
Turns out 4 days before the bite, the dog got released by Vaughan Animal Services. It had been held under suspicion for weeks because they believed it was part pit bull. The dog's owner's lawyer says the dog was at the studio because since being released, it got upset being alone. He says his client is devastated over the boy's injury and what happened, but says the narrative by the family is false.
It seemed that the boy, when he was bitten, that was his very first encounter with the dog. We've proven on this video that's demonstrably false. It wasn't. He's also said that he was very fearful of the dog. I think the video again proves that's demonstrably false.
Al-Ghul's dad says he believes his son. He wants dogs restricted from places where children gather.
My son basically paid that price, and these scars will stay forever.
Both sides say they've received racist and threatening messages since the incident. Toronto Animal Services is investigating, but says further details can't be provided right now.
A family dog that made headlines for being held by Animal Services over suspicion it was part pit bull has bitten a 13-year-old boy. Mohammed Al-Ghul says he needed more than 20 stitches after he was bitten by the dog following Taekwondo practice last Friday. Al-Ghul's father says he will likely have to undergo plastic surgery. The dog involved in the incident was seized by Vaughan Animal Services back in October after it ran away from the family home. The dog was returned more than 2 weeks later after it was determined it could be lawfully released. Al-Ghul says the dog bit him at owner Tommy Chang's Taekwondo studio. A lawyer representing Chang says there's no disputing the fact the boy was bitten, but he claims video footage from the day shows Al-Ghul interacting with the dog several times earlier without incident, and he wasn't pressured to interact with him as reported.
And the lawyer's statement goes on to say, the circumstances of how it occurred have been, for whatever reason, placed before the public in a false manner. And my client has been unjustly tried and convicted in the court of public opinion as a result. None of the claims have been proven in court. We're hearing tonight from the owner of a dog who bit a boy just days after it was released from Animal Services. The dog had been seized under suspicion of being part pit bull. The bite happened 4 days later at a Taekwondo studio.
You know, Mohammed, I wish you speedy recovery. I wish that this had never happened, but it happened. Let's move forward in a positive direction. I hope that you get your mental health back, and I hope that, the injury heals and then you'll have normal life. But I just wish that you told the truth.
We heard from Mohammed Almataz Al-Ghul last night. He needed more than 20 stitches on his face following the incident. The boy claims after class ended, an instructor told him he needed to get over his fear of dogs. Tommy Cham alleges the narrative being portrayed by the boy and his family is false. And while it's not being released at the moment, Chang claims security camera video paints a different picture of the incident. CTV News has seen the video, which shows the boy interacting with the dog about a half dozen times before the bite. Chang adds his business and family have been targets of threats and says the dog in question has now been relocated.